As an expat that's lived here for how many years?
Almost 11.
Wow, wow.
Almost 11.
What made you decide on Panama? What made you do what you did?
Well, it's a pretty interesting story actually. My folks moved down here. They decided they were ready to retire. And my dad had traveled a lot. My father is a world champion skeet shooter.
Oh, cool.
So he had traveled everywhere shooting and hunting, regardless of how we feel about hunting, but that's what he did. So he knew when they were ready to retire, they wanted to come to Panama. He had researched heavily. They came down, and my son and I, the first visit, we came down for just a month to sort of help Grandma and Grandpa acclimate. And as it turned out, my son, in the beginning, he was 12 when we came here. He's out in the yard with the gardener with a machete, and he says, "I'm in the jungle, Mom, with a machete. I'm not going anywhere."
He was
sold, and I said, "Yes, you're coming with Mom, and you have to come home with me." "No, I can stay with Grandma and Grandpa." So we decided to give it a year after that.
Okay.
I called one of the doctors that I worked with, that I contracted with, and said, "Okay, we're going to give it a year." And he said, "I knew it. I knew they would get their hooks in you. I knew it." So we did. We stayed the year, and I love it. Didn't take me even a year. We were not going anywhere. This was my home. We were not going to go anywhere.
And what's your favorite thing about it? I mean, what makes you feel like it's home in less than a year?
You know, there are a lot of things that are similar to how I grew up here. It's so green here. Trees and grass and rivers and creeks, and that's what I grew up doing, playing in the creek and playing in the river. Yeah, so really for me, there's a lot of things. One of the main things for me is the climate. I love the climate here. It really is 70 degrees, give or take a little, every single day year round. Year round. There's no need for air conditioning unless if you want it, you can get it. But there's no need for air conditioning, no need for heating, no need for any of that. I know that the sun's going to come up every day at 6:15 and it's going down every day at 6:15. I know what my day is going to be like. And again, coming from Arkansas, I had severe allergies, which I'm sure a lot of people do. Even in a lot of other parts of the world, people have allergies. I have none here.
That's amazing.
None. Even with different things blooming, we have lots of similar trees. There are cedars here, which is odd to see a cedar growing right next to to a big palm tree. But I love it. I love the small town feel, which is what I grew up with. When you walk down the street, I know people and they're like, "Hey," and "Hello." Even strangers here, Panamanians, you'll love the fact that they immediately when they walk in, "Buenos dias."
Yes.
"How are you today?"
That's the thing I love the most. I go to the grocery store and I'm walking in and all of a sudden either a gringo will walk in. That's what everybody's called here. I don't care where you're from.
It's not a derogatory term.
No.
Right.
It's perfect term, actually.
Yeah.
In fact, we've got gringo groups. We've got, we don't care.
Yeah, no.
If you're
It's
offended,
cool.
look it up.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we are.
Yeah.
We do not fit here in the Spanish language. We are only gringos.
Right.
But you know, walking in the grocery store and someone looks at me and I'm looking at this fruit that I'm not sure exactly what it is.
They'll help you.
And they're like, "Oh," and they start speaking to me in Spanish. I'm like, "Oh, sorry. And I get my phone out and I hold it for the conversation. They don't know what to do, and it is such a hoot to talk to these people, and they want to explain, they want to show you, and they want to teach you.
Yes.
And they're so friendly. And if it's not them, it's an expat walking around like, "What is this? What is this?" And they're talking to each other like, because I moved here at Christmas, and they're like, "I don't know what this is," and we've got family coming to visit, and
how can I cook this?
And I'm like, "Oh, I know what that is," and it's so cool to have that back and forth.
You know, that brings another thing to my mind. A lot of people here will think, when you initially move here, you think, I won't be able to find the same things that I did in the USA or what I did in Europe, wherever I came from. That's okay. You'll find a facsimile, pretty close facsimile. You'll find a lot of things, but but you'll learn about a lot of new things and get to try a lot of new things that you never knew about before. And they're so helpful anywhere you go. I know, like for me, for example, I didn't speak Spanish when I first came here. I've owned a couple of businesses since then, which helped, and of course my son finished school here and he's fluent, which is great. But now I speak Spanish. Anytime I'm in the pharmacy or I'm in the grocery store, or I'm in the hardware store, or anywhere, there's always somebody there. And I'll say, I'm not trying to get in your business, but I'll help you if you need help. There's always somebody here willing to help if you don't understand or you can't speak the language.
Yes,
it's
and
wonderful.
that was a big deterrent for us because neither of us do.
And you're afraid and you're intimidated, but you don't have to be.